All right, Battle Los Angeles. Going to try to run down each event as fast as I can. Battle Los Angeles 2005. I have to say I was very disappointed in this event. The first round matches were, they were all mediocre to pretty good, but nothing was really great on this show. I have to say I was really disappointed in a lot of these matches. One of the fun matches was Quicksilver and Davey Richards. I thought Davey Richards looked great in this match actually, and Quicksilver was pretty fun. This is a pretty fun match. AJ Styles and Jack Evans was Jack Evans did botch a lot of stuff. Out of all the first round matches on night one, I have to say Kevin Steen and SuperDragon, probably the best out of all of them. I just didn't think it needed to be that long. It went about 33 minutes. But maybe if they cut it down to 22 minutes, it would have been a lot better. Definitely the best match on the first round. All right, for the second round, for the quarterfinals and the semifinal matches, I have to say, everything was just not that good. I'd say Bryan Danielson and Christopher Daniels was decent, but they've had better matches in the past. I'd say AJ Styles and Bryan Danielson, probably their semifinal match, probably the best match out of all the matches on here. Quicksilver had a good showing. I really enjoyed his matches. But then eventually he lost to Chris Bosh in the semifinals. So then we got AJ and Chris Bosh, which was pretty disappointing. Really did not enjoy it. It was a little bit too short. AJ missed the spiral tap, and then Chris Bosh ended up finishing AJ off with a series of tombstones, I believe, or pile drivers to finish AJ off. And Chris Bosh, to me, he wasn't that great. He's a great heel, but his matches were really disappointing to me. But yeah, I probably would have went with AJ, your first ever BOLA champion, just to make it prestigious, to build it up more. Probably AJ should have went over here, but Chris Bosh did go over, and he was the BOLA winner for 2005. And one of the best matches from the tournament was actually the 8-man tag featuring all the guys that lost on night one. That was pretty fun. That was on the PWG Sells Out DVD, so that was good. But aside from that, pretty disappointing for the first BOLA. All right, Battle Los Angeles 2006, a lot better. I really enjoyed this a little bit better. But still, the finals were not that great to me. But everything on the show is pretty decent, though. So I will say, give the show a recommendation, a slight recommendation. El Generico and Chris Sabin, the quarterfinal match is pretty fun. SEMA and Kevin Steen was good. Dragon Kid and Roderick Strong, very solid as you would expect. Austin Aries and Davey Richards, that was good. And then when it came down to SEMA and El Generico in the semifinals, that was the match of 2006. I definitely love that match. It's actually on PWG Sells Out as well. That was a great match. Like I said, the best match from the whole BOLA 2006. And then we ended up getting Roderick Strong and Davey Richards. It was another decent match, but not great. And then it ended up being SEMA and Davey Richards in the finals. And Davey Richards did go over here to win the 2006 Battle Los Angeles. Really have to say about this show, Davey Richards was not the kind of wrestler that he is now. He had way too much muscle back then. He couldn't really move as well. He was still good, but he's just not to the level where he is right now. He was not as toned, and he was not as athletic as he is now. But yeah, Battle Los Angeles 2006, a very, very fun show. Night 3 was good. I skipped on the first 2 nights because it just looked like to me that they paired the bigger named guys up with the smaller named guys. So, it was pretty obvious who was going to go over in those matches. So I kind of skipped on it. But I thought night 3 was a very fun night. All right, Battle Los Angeles 2007. I love 2007. Definitely recommend picking up the whole weekend for 2007, all 3 nights. All right, so we get to night 1. Out of all these matches, which ones stood out to me? Austin Aries and Roderick Strong in the first round was very solid. Tyler Black and Alex Shelley, I thought that was an excellent first round match. Alex Shelley put on a great series of matches in 2007 for BOLA. What else did we have here? Jack Evans and Pac was pretty fun. And from night 1, there was a tag team match for the PWG Tag Team Championship. We get El Generico and Kevin Steen versus Dragon Kid and Yokosuka. A really fun main event match. And, that was pretty much it for night 1. All right, night 2. Night 2 was pretty much done just to set up night 3, but I thought it was still a pretty fun night of wrestling. SEMA and Human Tornado was really fun. Shingo and Scott Lost was decent. And then we had Necro Butcher getting the upset over Kevin Steen. And then we had, and then this is a match that we really haven't seen in Ring of Honor. Pretty much the ROH MVP from 2008 versus the current MVP from 2009. So this is a pretty fun match to check out. We get Nigel versus Davey Richards. It wasn't spectacular, but it was a pretty solid match. And then the main event from night 2 was actually Dragon Kid versus Yokosuka in a pretty fun Dragon Gate kind of match. Pretty much as good as you would expect. So that was night 2. Night 2 was just decent to me. But out of all 3 nights, night 3 was great. Probably one of the best matches. Not best matches, but one of the best shows I've seen from top to bottom. Night 3 it definitely lived up to my expectations. Heard a lot of good things about it, so definitely check it out. The first match of the night was a quarterfinal match between Roderick Strong and Joey Ryan. It was really good. Roderick got the best out of Joey Ryan in this match. Alex Shelley and Matt Sydal, quarterfinal match. One of the best matches from the BOLA 2007 weekend. Definitely check it out. It's actually going to be on PWG Sells Out too. Claudio Castagnoli and Pac was pretty fun as well. Sema and Shingo, excellent match, 4 stars. Really enjoyed that. Nigel McGuinness and Necro Butcher, not as bad as you would expect. It was actually, decent. It wasn't that bad. Nigel hit a series of lariats to put Necro away. Dragon Kid and El Generico, very fun as you would expect. The 12-man tag featuring all the guys that lost on night 1 was pretty fun. And then we get down to the semifinal matches. You get Roderick Strong and Alex Shelley, which was very fun. Pretty decent match. Shelley put on a great showing here, but Roderick did go over. Next up, we got Pac versus Shingo. Pretty short, but Pac versus Shima. I'm sorry. It was pretty short, but Shima did his finisher off the top rope. That was a pretty cool finisher there. And then we get Nigel McGuinness and El Generico, who have great chemistry. They had another solid match. So the finals ended up being a 3-way dance, actually. It ended up being Roderick Strong versus Shima versus El Generico. And it was a very fun 3-way match. I really enjoyed it. And El Generico got eliminated first. After he got eliminated, it came down to Roderick and Shima, and they put on a great showing. The near falls were pretty great. The crowd was awesome for the match, and just a great ending to the 2007 Battle of Los Angeles. I thought this whole weekend was great. It was stacked with a lot of great talent, and night 3, definitely check it out. Everything was pretty much at least maybe 3 stars to 4 stars. Everything pretty much reached the 3-star level for me, and I really enjoyed it. All right, so now I'm just going to briefly talk about BOLA 2008. I did a full review of this on my old account, but yeah, it's just another great weekend of wrestling. This is stacked with a whole bunch of talent, and for out of night 1, the night 1 matches, I have to say, Low Key and Roderick Strong was excellent. Davey Richards and Bryan Danielson was another great first round match. Austin Aries and Nigel McGuinness was really good. Both guys did bust their ass in that match. They didn't, slack off like people were expecting. And, because, they want to conserve their energy for ROH, obviously. So, but that was good. El Generico versus Nick Jackson versus Masato Yoshino. Another excellent, fun first-round match. And Chris Hero and Necro Butcher was the main event. No disqualification, was a lot better than you would expect. Stage 2 from BOLA 2008. Out of all these matches, there's a lot of good stuff in here. Low Key and Masato Yoshino was a dream match for me, and I thought that was okay. We ended up getting Chris Hero and Bryan Danielson in the semifinals, which was good, but a little bit disappointing. And then Low Key and Nigel McGuinness was a very disappointing for me because it was a disqualification. So yeah, the finals though, Low Key and Chris Hero was excellent. Probably one of the best PWG matches ever. It's going to be on PWG Sells Out too, so check that out. But BOLA 2008, I thought was great as well. I say BOLA 2007 and 2008 were the best editions. But overall, I'll probably say 2007 was the best one. Definitely check out 2007. So I'm running out of time. That's the history of BOLA. I know it's kind of tough to do tournament reviews because you're seeing the same guys wrestle over and over again. So hope you enjoyed it, and take care.